Why is God with Jacob? Even after Jacob tricked his brother, why is God with this fellow? It's because of one man, and that man is called Abraham. He opened a door for a spirit. God is a spirit, a divine spirit. And because of that, his generation is thriving. His generation is affected, but in a positive way. His generation is looked after. Familiar spirits, believe it or not, are the opposite of what I just said. Just as God has sent to us, according to Hebrews 1 verse 14, ministering spirits, and of course angels. Angels are called ministering spirits in Hebrews 1 verse 14. And then says to minister for them who are what? Heirs of salvation. The Bible there is specific as to who these spirits, who are ministering spirits, they should minister to. The word minister is the word to serve. So the Bible is clear as to who these spirits are to serve. Familiar spirits are the opposite of what we just said. They are there not to serve you, but to serve their master. And since you are not their master, you are their victim. They will victimize you to please their master. They are called household servant because they are familiar with you. But how are they familiar with you? Because you've never opened the door. Well, familiar spirits are also called inherited giants, meaning they were never your giants, but you inherited them. One can inherit them. That's why some of you are fighting things that did not start with you. You are watching and you are wondering, how come I've been dealing with this in my life? How come in my family we are moving in this pattern? How come this is happening to my sister as it happened to my mother, now it's happening to me? It's because what you guys are dealing with, you are dealing with a familiar spirit. This spirit knows your limits, knows how far you can go, knows your grandmother, knows your grandfather. So it uses what it used against your grandmother to defeat you. So it knows who you are in and out better than you. And because of the information it has, it uses that to stop you from thriving. That's why some of you don't understand that these spirits are called familiar spirits, because they are familiar with their victim. They are familiar. They will victimize their victim to an extent that the person themselves, every time they meet somebody, that other person's life will be messed up. Not because the person's life was not making sense, was making sense, but when they meet somebody with a familiar spirit, also their life starts going down. That's one thing about familiar spirit. You can meet somebody, sleep with somebody, and inherit that spirit that is familiar from that person, and you walk out with a familiar spirit. And that familiar spirit will deal with you, that once it finishes dealing with you, it does not leave you alone. It will go to those that are connected to you. Hence I said it's ruthless. It does not harass you to an extent that when you feel like, you know what, I'm done, then the spirit goes, yeah, now I'm done. No. When you die, whoever is connected to you will inherit it. Hence, I hate this spirit with passion. And a lot of people have inherited familiar spirits from different people. And familiar spirits' duty, familiar spirits' number one job is to please its master. And in this case, it can be a witch, it can be a wizard, it can be somebody who spoke a bad word against your grandfather, it can be somebody who said something about your grandmother, it can be somebody who said something about your mother. And that spirit now obeyed the master. And in obeying the master, it had to make sure that the words spoken against your mother or your grandmother or grandfather take shape. And after taking shape, it does not go back to the master. So it will serve the master by messing up that person's life and